welcome to another episode of Justice Rounds with Dr. Jimmell. I am your host, Dr. Jimmell, and I want to take 1 minute, well, not a minute, but a moment to congratulate all my fellow pediatrician colleagues out there. I really appreciate all the work that you do, and I am super honored to be a part of this group of professionals known as pediatricians. So today is National Pediatricians Day. So if you know a pediatrician that you love and has helped you, your children and your family, has helped you, give them some love today. It is sometimes difficult out here in these streets to be a pediatrician, but we do it because we want children everywhere to be healthy, happy, and whole. And so, we are not going to stop being who we are. And also want to congratulate the American Academy of Pediatrics for issuing the 2026 immunization schedule, and other professional organizations also endorsed that immunization schedule. For the first time in a very long time, it does not line up with the CDC recommendations. So if you want more information on that, you can check out aap.org/immunization schedule. So let's dive into this episode. I just wanted to take that time because those are my people, and I also wanted to ensure that I gave a great shout out to my colleagues. So pediatricians everywhere, thank you for what you do. All right, so I'm your host, Dr. Jimmell. As you can tell, I'm a board-certified pediatrician and obesity medicine physician. And today we're diving into a topic that affects every single person living in the United States, our constitutional rights. Before we get to that, though, I need to take a moment and level set on what got us here. In this special constitutional rights edition, we'll explore the Bill of Rights, bust some common myths, and talk about how you and your family can stand up for your rights and demand justice peacefully and powerfully. My mission, as always, is to empower you with knowledge and to inspire you to take action for justice in your everyday lives. All right, let's level set with current events. In today's episode, we're discussing the fundamental importance of constitutional rights. Rights guaranteed to all, regardless of circumstance. We'll focus on two recent cases: the detainment of 5-year-old Liam Ramos and the tragic killing of Alex Pretty. Let's begin by defining what we mean by constitutional rights. These are the rights enshrined in the Constitution, such as due process, equal protection under the law, and the right to be free from unreasonable seizures and searches. They are the bedrock of our justice system and should protect everyone, especially society's most vulnerable. Now, the story of Liam Ramos. As a pediatrician and as a mother and just as a person, this story was quite concerning. Liam is just 5 years old, and he was detained by authorities in a highly controversial move that has sparked national outrage. The core question here is, how do constitutional rights apply to children, particularly in high-stress legal situations? Many legal experts argue that Liam's detainment violated his right to due process and humane treatment. Children have additional protections under both U.S. law and international conventions, and detaining a child of such a young age raises serious ethical and legal concerns. Moving to the case of Alex Pretty, a nurse at a VA hospital in Minnesota. His life was tragically cut short. The killing of Alex has reignited debates about the use of force, accountability, and the right to life. Constitutional rights are intended to protect individuals from arbitrary or excessive actions by the state. In Alex's case, advocates are calling for an independent investigation to ensure that justice is served and constitutional protections are upheld for all. Both stories highlight the urgent need for vigilance in protecting constitutional rights. When those in power overstep, it's not just the individual's cases that suffer, it's the integrity of our entire system. These cases remind us of the human impact of legal decisions and the importance of demanding accountability. So let's now move on to the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights, the People's Shield. Let's start at the beginning. The Bill of Rights is the first 10 amendments to the United States Constitution, adopted in 1791. These amendments were established to protect the fundamental freedoms and liberties of the people, from the freedom of speech and religion to the right to a fair trial and protection against unreasonable searches. Think of the Bill of Rights as a shield, created to keep the government in check and ensure that individuals and families can live freely and safely. The Bill of Rights includes essential rights like freedom of the press, the right to assemble, and the right to petition the government. It also guarantees your right to privacy in your own home and sets the groundwork for a fair and just legal process. These aren't just old words, they're living principles that shape our daily lives. So let's go through which each amendment means. Number 1, freedom of expression. It protects your right to express yourself freely through speech, religion, press, assembly, and petition. For example, you can speak out about issues, practice any religion, publish articles, and gather for a peaceful protest, as well as petition the government for change. Number 2, the right to bear arms. It protects your right to own and carry weapons for self-defense and security, but subject to regulations which may include background checks or mandatory waiting periods. Number 3, quartering of soldiers. This prevents the government from forcing you to house soldiers in your home during peacetime without your consent, but pay close attention to the caveat. This can change during wartime if laws are passed. Number 4, protection from unreasonable searches. It protects your privacy by requiring law enforcement to have a warrant and probable cause to search your property, including your home, your car, and your belongings. There are certain exceptions in emergency situations, and I assume this is the caveat that is being used to infringe on people's constitutional rights at this current moment. Number 5, rights in criminal cases. This one includes several protections such as double jeopardy, self-incrimination, due process, and eminent domain. You cannot be tried twice for the same crime. You do not have to testify against yourself. You can plead the fifth, as they say. The government must compensate you if it takes your property for public use. Number 6, the right to a fair trial. It protects your right to fairness in trial by guaranteeing that it be speedy, that it be a public trial by an impartial jury, that you have the right to know the charges, confront and call witnesses, and the right to an attorney. Number 7, rights in civil cases. It protects your right to a jury trial in federal civil cases and prevents courts from overturning a jury's findings of fact. Number 8, protection from excessive punishment. It prohibits excessive bail, fines, and cruel or unusual punishment. Number 9, rights retained by the people. This amendment states that we have other rights not specifically mentioned in the Constitution. And number 10, powers reserved to the states and people. This amendment gives states and the people certain powers that is not given to the federal government. This gives each state the right to make laws about education, marriage, and other areas not covered by federal law. Just be aware that there are 27 total amendments in the Constitution. Please refresh yourselves on what those are. I do not have time to go through the rest of the amendments of the Constitution, so I would love for you to go through all of them on your own time. Myth busting, clearing up common misconceptions. Now, this is one of my favorite parts of my podcast, dispelling myths. Let's set the record straight on some common myths. First, the Bill of Rights doesn't only protect citizens. It safeguards everyone on U.S. soil, regardless of immigration status. I am going to say that one more time for the people in the back. The Bill of Rights safeguards everyone on U.S. soil, regardless of immigration status. Another myth is that your rights are absolute. In reality, rights have reasonable limits to balance freedom and safety for all, like the famous example that free speech doesn't allow you to yell "fire" in a crowded theater without cause. And here's a big one. Some people think their rights are automatically protected without any action on their part. The truth is, knowing your rights is the first step to defending them. When you're informed, you're empowered to speak up if those rights are ever threatened. Defending families, everyday steps to protect your rights. So how can you and your family protect your rights on a daily basis? Start by having open conversations about the Bill of Rights, what each one means, and how they apply to real-life situations at school, work, and in your community. Teach your children to ask questions and express their concerns respectfully. If you believe your rights have been violated, write down everything that happened, including dates, times, and the names of the people involved. Don't hesitate to seek advice from trusted organizations or legal experts who can guide you. Remember, you don't have to go it alone. There are many groups devoted to defending constitutional rights for all. Demanding justice, peaceful and powerful actions. Let's talk about demanding justice. Change often starts when ordinary people raise their voices together. One of the most effective ways to stand up for justice is through peaceful protest. Marches, demonstrations, and rallies have played a huge role in shaping our country's history. Just be mindful to follow local laws and keep things nonviolent. Another powerful tool is legislative advocacy. Contact your local representatives by sending emails, making phone calls, or attending public meetings or town halls. And even if you don't have a town hall scheduled by your legislative representative, you can always pay a visit to their office and talk to someone there. Let them know what matters to you and your community. Elected officials work for you, and your voice matters. Finally, don't underestimate the power of speaking out. Share your experiences with friends, neighbors, and on social media. The more we talk about injustices, the harder they become to ignore. Conclusion. Your rights, your voice. To wrap up, remember, the Bill of Rights is more than a list of rules. It's a promise to every person in this country that their voice matters and their freedoms deserve respect. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and stand strong for justice. Whether you're teaching your kids at home, marching with your neighbors, or writing or calling your senator or representatives, you're making a difference. I want to leave you with the poem Amanda Gorman penned this week. If you remember, Amanda Gorman was the young lady who spoke a poem at President Biden's inauguration. So I want to also explain something, like some people were not understanding why the poem looked the way it did. And I found it very interesting that she did that because it was supposed to mirror what the city of Minneapolis looks like on a map. So that is the reason why the prose is structured the way it is. But regardless of what it looks like, I would love for you to listen to the words that Amanda Gorman wrote. For Alex Jeffrey Preddy, January 24th, 2026, by Amanda Gorman. We wake with no words, just woe and wound. Our own country shooting us in the back is not just brutality, it's jarring betrayal. Not enforcement, but execution. A message, love your people, and you will die. Yet, our greatest threat isn't the outsiders among us, but those among us who never look within. Fear not the those without papers, but those without conscience. Know that to care intensively, united, is to carry both pain, dark horror for today, and a profound daring hope for tomorrow. We can feel we have nothing to give, and still beloved this world, waiting, trembling to change. If we cannot find words, may we find the will. If we ever lose hope, may we never lose our humanity. The only undying thing is mercy, the courage to open ourselves like doors, hug our neighbor, and save one more bright, impossible life. I am Dr. Jimmell, and you've been listening to Justice Rounds with Dr. Jimmell. To my Justice League, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, share it with your friends and family. This is probably one of the most important episodes that I've done so far because it's educating people about their rights. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Justice Rounds with Dr. Jimmell. Let's keep the conversation going. I'm going to pin a question in the comments and let me know what you think. Until next time, stay empowered, stand for justice, and never underestimate the power of your voice.